My daughter was treated like a servant from the day we moved into that house, and at first I told myself it was just in my head, that I was being too sensitive, that I was overreacting because I was her mother, and every mother worries too much about her child. We had moved in with my husband's family after he lost his job, and our savings slowly disappeared, like water leaking from a broken tap. I agreed because he promised it would be temporary, and because I wanted my daughter Lily to have a roof over her head and food on her plate, even if it meant swallowing my pride. His parents lived in a big old house with wide halls and heavy wooden doors, and portraits of ancestors staring down from the walls as if judging everyone who walked beneath them. From the first day we arrived, I felt like an outsider, and Lily felt it too, even though she tried to smile and pretend everything was fine. At first it started with small things. His mother would ask Lily to carry plates from the kitchen while her cousins played in the living room. She would ask Lily to sweep the floor while other children watched television. She would tell Lily to fetch water or tea or snacks, as if my daughter were hired help instead of family. I noticed it, but I stayed silent. I told myself she was just being helpful. I told myself it was good for her to learn responsibility. I told myself not to create problems where there were none, but inside my heart something felt wrong. Lily was only 10 years old. She was quiet, gentle, and eager to please. She would do whatever anyone asked her without complaint. She thought that if she worked harder, they would love her more. Every morning she woke up early before school to help in the kitchen. She washed dishes, wiped counters, and arranged chairs, while her cousins slept late and laughed loudly when they finally woke up. After school, she did not run outside to play. She went straight to the kitchen to help again. If she sat down even for a few minutes, someone would call her name and tell her to do something. Lily never said no. One evening I found her in the backyard washing muddy shoes in cold water. Her fingers were red and trembling. I asked her why she was doing it, and she said softly, "Grandma said they must be clean before tomorrow." I felt anger rise in my chest like fire. But I pushed it down. I did not want to start a fight. I did not want my husband to feel ashamed. I did not want to be seen as ungrateful, so I stayed silent. Weeks turned into months, and the treatment became worse. During family gatherings, Lily was always the one serving food while others ate. She stood beside the table waiting for empty plates. She ate last when everything was almost finished. Sometimes there was barely enough left for her. I noticed she was losing weight. Her cheeks were no longer round, her smile was weaker, her eyes looked tired. One night I asked her quietly if she was happy in this house. She hesitated and then said, "I am fine, Mama," but her voice cracked. That night I cried silently into my pillow while my husband slept beside me, unaware of the storm in my heart. I tried to talk to him gently the next day. I told him I felt Lily was being treated unfairly. He shrugged and said, "That is how my mother is. She just wants everyone to help. You are imagining things." His words hurt more than I expected, so again I stayed silent. Then came the day that changed everything. It was my father-in-law's birthday, and the entire family gathered in the house. Relatives came from different cities. The living room was full of noise, laughter, and expensive clothes. From early morning, Lily was busy. She chopped vegetables, stirred sauces, washed piles of dishes, and carried heavy trays back and forth. I helped when I could. But my mother-in-law kept telling me to sit and rest because guests were coming and I should look presentable. Lily was not given that luxury. By afternoon, she was exhausted. Her hands were shaking, her forehead was sweaty. Her uniform from school was still on because she had not even changed. I told her to sit for a while, but my sister-in-law immediately said, "Lily can rest later." "We need more plates." Lily looked at me with apologetic eyes and went back to work. When dinner was served, everyone sat at the long table talking loudly and laughing. Lily stood near the wall waiting for instructions. I noticed there was no seat for her. I asked quietly, "Where will Lily sit?" My mother-in-law replied, "She can eat after we need her to clear first." Something snapped inside me, but I still stayed quiet. until I saw what happened next. One of Lily's cousins accidentally spilled curry on the floor and started complaining loudly about the mess. My mother-in-law turned to Lily and shouted, "Why are you standing there? Clean this now!" Lily rushed forward, knelt on the floor and started wiping the spill with a cloth. In front of everyone, in front of all the guests, my daughter was on her knees like a servant, like she had no dignity, like she had no family. People watched. Some looked uncomfortable. Some pretended not to notice. Some whispered. Lily's face was burning red. Her eyes were full of tears, but she did not cry. She kept wiping and wiping as if her life depended on it. That was the moment. I could not stay silent anymore. My heart pounded. My hands shook. My vision blurred. I stood up slowly. The room became quiet. Everyone looked at me. I walked to Lily, gently took the cloth from her hands and helped her stand up. I wrapped my arms around her and said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "You will not clean the floor anymore. You will not serve anyone anymore. You are my daughter, not a servant." The silence was heavy, like a storm cloud. My mother-in-law stared at me in shock. "What are you doing?" she asked angrily. I looked her straight in the eyes and said, "I am protecting my child, something no one else here seems willing to do," she shouted. "This is my house, my rules," I replied. "Then your rules are cruel." Gasps filled the room. My husband stood up confused and embarrassed, telling me to calm down. But I did not. I said calmly but firmly, "For months my daughter has been working like a maid while others relax. She eats last, she rests last. She is ordered around like she has no value, and I stayed quiet because I was afraid of creating problems. But today, I choose my child over your comfort." Lily was crying now, holding my hand tightly. I continued, "You may think she is weak because she is quiet. You may think she will accept anything, but I will not let you break her spirit." Some relatives started nodding. Others looked ashamed. My sister-in-law tried to defend herself, saying, "We never meant harm," I replied. "Harm does not always come with bad intentions. Sometimes it comes with neglect and selfishness." I turned to my husband and said, "If you cannot stand up for your daughter, then I will do it alone." He looked at Lily, then at me, and finally lowered his head. He whispered, "I am sorry." That night, we packed our bags. We left the house before sunrise. We moved into a small rented room near my workplace. It was cramped and noisy, and the walls were thin, but it was peaceful. Lily slept peacefully for the first time in months. She woke up smiling. Slowly she changed. She laughed more. She gained weight. She started drawing again, something she had stopped doing in that house. She told me one evening, "Mama, I feel free. Now my husband worked hard and found another job. He apologized many times. He admitted he had been blind. He learned to speak up." Months later, my in-laws tried to contact us. They said they missed Lily. They said they were sorry. I listened politely, but I did not forget. We visit them sometimes now, but only for short periods. And Lily is never asked to serve anyone. They know better, and Lily knows something even more important. She knows her worth. She knows she deserves respect. And she knows her mother will never stay silent again when her dignity is at stake. That is the day my daughter stopped being treated like a servant, and the day I finally found my voice.